So today we're looking at equipment and what equipment we have available, what equipment we use and how it affects our dogs when they are out and when they're pulling on the lead. Anyone who knows, who's been to a pet shop recently, knows there's hundreds of different harnesses and leads available, and often we go for the one that's the nicest colour or the one that we've seen our friend use, and we don't actually research what type of harnesses there are. So I always advocate using a harness as opposed to a collar. I'm not going to go into that today, but if you want to know why, do check out the blog that we shared last week and some of the images we shared last week that explain the dangers of using a collar. Using a collar can make dogs pull more because of the opposition reflex we spoke about yesterday. It hurts, I'll carry on. If you think about gentlemen, if you're a gentleman watching, if you think about when you have to wear a shirt and tie, because it's very restrictive, it feels odd and you start fidgeting and feeling uncomfortable, and you don't feel as good as if you're wearing an open shirt. Same goes for a collar. If you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, if it's feeling a little bit tense and it pulls and it itches, then you're going to pull to get rid of that sensation because you're squirming because it's uncomfortable. And harnesses, there are a million different types on the market. You've got your anti-pull harnesses. Anything that's branded as anti-pull works, and it works because it inflicts pain or discomfort. So the harnesses I am going to show you today don't inflict pain, don't inflict comfort, do inflict comfort, not discomfort, and that will help. Just simply changing what you use can help your dog not to pull on the lead. So there's two different harnesses I personally use, and I have a couple of different leads that I use as well, which I'm going to show you today. So most people hopefully aren't the type of people that can be using prong collars or choke collars. If you do, again, seriously look at the blog, because often how we attach our dogs to us through their lead and their harness affects not only how they pull on the lead but how they act. So my go-to, my favourite harness is a Perfect Fit. Now here's one that's just come back from being loaned out. We do a loan scheme for our growing puppies who are at puppy class. They don't have to keep forking out on new harnesses. So Perfect Fit are, in my opinion, one of the best harnesses because they are comfortable. They're fleece lined, they're fitted to the individual dog's shape. So that means they are comfortable. Ladies, if you think about your favourite bra, how comfortable is your favourite bra? You feel good wearing that one, you like that one, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, you're happy. If you've got a bra that doesn't quite fit right, that pinches, that the wire's sticking out of and is uncomfortable, it's a bit loose, you're going to squirm, you're going to fidget, you're going to wriggle. If you've got that perfect bra on, you feel so much more comfortable. And that's how a harness should be. A harness should be snug, it should be tight, it shouldn't twist around the body, it should be comfortable and your dog likes wearing it. So Perfect Fit is the one that I really like and I recommend to all my clients. Currently I'm actually using a McCutie with Dave. He does have a Perfect Fit, but I'm using a McCutie harness, which is similar in design, similar in shape. It's just not quite as comfortable. So where the Perfect Fit is fleecy, this is a tape harness. He's quite a sensitive soul at the moment. We're not quite sure if it's because he lost his canine brother earlier in the year, or if it's just teenage years, but he's just finding this one a little bit less bulky, a little bit less restrictive. But I'd say for serious pullers it's quite good, but for comfort the Perfect Fit would definitely be the way forward. Quiet. The other thing to think about is your lead. So a lot of people buy a puppy lead when they first get a puppy, and these are like tiny little tape. They're not really worth much of anything, to be honest. They look like they come out of a Christmas cracker and they don't help. So what we want to do is pick a lead that is comfortable. These are the Holty training leads. We stock these at class, so if you want to pick one up or have a look at them, do have a look. They're really comfortable in your hands. They're really smooth, really nice, and they've got the benefit of having the clips all the way down, so you can clip onto the front and the back of your Perfect Fit or your McCutie harness, and have a bit of power steering. If you are going to be constantly using a front and back, which I do with Dave at the moment, I actually have the McCutie lead that is an extra metre long, so it's 3 metres long, which really helps because we double it up. That means he's actually got 1.5 metres. There is a theory that a shorter lead stops your dog pulling. You often see people with a foot-long lead and the dog is here and it can't move. That's why it doesn't pull. But often, because it's so short, they just go into shutdown and go, well, there's no point me pulling, and they're not happy. And walking your dog should be a happy experience. So the longer the lead, the better, because your dog can actually go and sniff and explore, which is what dogs are supposed to do, without having to pull. So we're meeting them halfway. Personally, I'm not an advocate of flexi leads, not something I'm going to go into today. I don't like the use of them, but also they can confuse dogs when you're trying to teach them to walk nicely on the lead, because their length always changes. So sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long, and there is always tension on a flexi lead. So that doesn't always help when we're teaching them to walk nicely and loose on a lead. So again, they're okay in certain circumstances. I used to use one for our elderly dog because he was deaf and couldn't walk, and it was the best one for him. But for most dogs, I wouldn't recommend using a flexi lead. And I say the equipment really helps, because if we're using the right equipment, we're halfway there. So pop a picture of your harness and your lead in the comments if you're not sure if it's the right one for your dog, or if you want some feedback on it. Hopefully you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about equipment and how it can help us, and tomorrow we're going to move on to some practical training, which I'm sure you're all looking forward to. Hopefully it stays dry so that we don't get too wet